Okay, Temple Runners. So here we have it, our final part of the story where we tie up all those little loose ends and we get to the end of the story. Kind of, might be a little bit of a twist. So let's see what we're going to be looking at. Let's take a quick look at the workshop we're going to be using, the worksheet we're going to be using. Here we go. So as normal, we'll start with the same sentence and we'll end with the same sentence. So our last story kind of ended with our character getting away from the creature and escaping from their final problem. So we've got a big shift now. We've made a bit of a jump. So we're imagining that our character, in my case, Guy, is in the museum and he's looking at the idol in the museum case. So here we go. The starting sentence: the idol stood staring out from its display case in the museum. Kind of links back to a few of the other bits about staring into the eyes of the idol again, doesn't it? So we've got those bits. The middle bit, so what I want you to focus in on today then, so same start sentence, but in between I'd like you to kind of introduce a bit of a sequel to the story, a little bit of a twist, as if there's another story that's going to happen. And I think the best way to do this is to have a conversation. So we're going to be able to use speech today. So think about who Guy might have a conversation with. It might be a museum curator, it might be another archaeologist or a historian that kind of links in with things. And then obviously we've got our end sentence. Here we go again for Guy. So let's have a look at how this might look in an example. So here we are, we've got the first little bit. The idol stood staring out from its display case in the museum. Guy stared into the idol's eyes and thought back to the danger he'd been through to bring back the idol. No sign of any traps now. So there's kind of a link back to the rest of the story. Then we've got our bit of speech. The museum curator broke into his thoughts. Thank you, Mr. Dangerous. The museum is very grateful to you for saving this ancient relic. Guy just smiled, glad that the danger was in the past. So it seems as if the story's just coming to a kind of natural conclusion, nothing else happening. I was wondering, the curator continued, there's a golden trident, Neptune's trident, that the museum's been searching for. We've had no luck, but we now have a lead. I don't suppose you're interested, are you? Here we go again, thought Guy. So there's my end sentence. We've put in a little bit of a link to a sequel. Don't worry, though, we won't be writing that sequel unless you really want to. But we've got our end to this story. It's a little bit bit more interesting than just ending it. Everything ended happily ever after. So we've got a little bit of a twist there. Don't forget to focus in on that speech. Don't forget the speech marks that we've got there, followed by the capital letter. Where does this one end? The full stop is before the speech marks, and make sure we've got that. Don't forget who to say who's talking. In this case, I put that at the start. In the second bit, I kind of put who's talking in the middle. So slightly different there. I've got my speech marks, capital letter. I was wondering, and then ending with a comma. The curator continued, comma, speech marks. And because it's carrying on, I don't need a full a capital letter there. Okay, so just think about those speech marks. Don't forget the end as well. The question mark in this case comes before the speech marks. Make sure you get it inside. So it's over to you. You need to finish your story. Try and put in a little bit of a twist within your story so it leads on to a sequel. I look forward to seeing how you get on with it. Best of luck and enjoy the final part of your story. Well done.